Hi, welcome back. Another important topic. It's been a long time doing topics. Okay, so let's try to understand Indian GST part 1 in SAP. Either you can able to implement with this knowledge the tax determination for output. If possible, we'll try to see input also. So how the GST will be determined in India. So it's a lot of budge if you go back around 2015. So 2015-16, like GST is coming, uptry and excise duties, a lot of taxes actually, different parts of sections based on either based on the domain or business, different taxes were available previously. So that is got replaced with one goods and services tax, a single tax which is common for whatever the business you take within India, sometimes for your exports also. So like, what is the system? What are all the government thoughts all about? Okay, so GST got implemented. It's been years. Why I'm doing GST? So GST is a bit complex, and at the same time you can able to try. And so being a functional consultant, how much you can able to implement on your own. Generally GST consultants, so there is something called sin previously, way back to the Indian taxation system for SAP. Sin means country version India. So for Indian taxation system is bit complex, like some complex taxation systems will be there across the world. India also nowhere less compared with tax requirements for government versus your business actually. Let's try to understand what Indian GST talks about. Okay, let's try to configure GST today, and we'll try to start from the scratch actually. Scratch from system. If you got a practice system, what you need to configure, I'll try to give my best and we'll try to do it. Okay, so this is the request from few of my Udemy students, and as well as YouTube viewers, so that it will be helpful for them. Like if they are working in Indian projects, they can directly attempt, they will have good knowledge. I can't say it's a full knowledge, because if you go back to the scenarios, from not only for your order to cash, it will come to sometimes scenarios and returns, and chargebacks and your STOs, a lot of scenarios. And that's why GST, so initial of your career, don't expect to work in Indian project. It's tough actually, by showing experience, or else if you don't have experience, then it is very difficult, but it's okay, you can learn. After all, it's your time testing actually. Okay, so now let's try to check business scenarios, why we require a GST. So if it is happening, the goods transfer, goods purchase or goods sale, either within the state or across two different states, or else if it is union territory, the GST will be there. Okay, so let's try to understand the scenarios. So first we'll try to understand intrastate scenario. Intrastate, for example, you are belonging to Hyderabad, so that means Telangana. Within the Telangana state, if any transactions happens, so what are all the taxes will applicable? How the tax? Suppose you purchase a goods or else you sell a goods, how the tax will be applicable? Okay, let's try to understand. So for example, you have a plant which is located in Hyderabad. From there, the plant, you would like to send a goods to your customer. Suppose he is located in Karnataka or Tamil Nadu or Mumbai. That is interstate. But now situation is intrastate scenario. That is happening within Telangana, Hyderabad, some city to some city. Or also within Hyderabad, if you are transferring the goods, some plant to customer. Okay, so your customer is belonging to the same state and your plant is belonging to same state, then the scenario will be like intrastate tax. So previously they used to call it as state tax, okay, Indian states tax. Okay, now what we are calling, this is the share between your central government and as well as state government. C means CGST, central government share, and SGST. Okay, so let me try to show you. Same state, this is actually between same state. If it is happening between same states, then this is the case actually. CGST and SGST applicable. Let's try to do one thing. We create one plant in Hyderabad and the customer is belongs to within Hyderabad, and we will try to transfer. We'll try to transfer the goods. That means we'll deliver the goods to the customer so that your CGST and SGST should be applicable. Okay, this is for outbound. In the similar way, so like it's if for example, if you take a certain factory, they are buying raw materials, so that means your purchase order cycle, that is called input tax. Okay, your purchase order, your MIGO and MIRO will be there. Such cases also your CGST and SGST will be applicable. Since you are from SD background, you better know, because if you are working in India, no one will call you like you are your SD consultant and MM consultant if it is a big project. Otherwise, you're supposed to handle both inbound and outbound also. That is the tough time, really, I'm telling you. So if you're alone supposed to handle, that's why. So most of the times, separate consultant will be there, but certain cases, if you are a senior, then you're supposed to handle. Okay, you automatically you can able to handle that one also. Okay, so this is the intrastate scenario. So let's see this CGST and SGST, how it will be applicable. Okay, so like if stocks is transferred within the same state. So for example, you can take the similar example. If you are belonging to Karnataka, okay, you can take Bangalore within the state. If you transfer to Mysore, that is fine, or else I will take Karnataka only, or else you can take Maharashtra, Mumbai to Pune. So like within the same state, Maharashtra state, if it is happening, that is called the tax determination supposed to happen. See, you try to understand. So from plant regions to customer region, stock is transferring. That's what the identification and the knowledge you're supposed to give to the system. So there are certain nodes available for actual GST system is supposed to implement. Suppose if you have a ECC system or S4 HANA system, certain times it has a gaps actually. It is not going to directly helpful to you to configure how you can configure your MWST for other countries. Okay, so that is the main what I would say, that is the main problem with this GST. So what are all the nodes we have that you can find in Google? Like a lot of material is available. Let me try to show you the practicals actually from scratch. We'll see from enterprise structure onwards, everything from end-to-end cycle for outbound. If possible, we'll see inbound also. Okay, so now see this interstate scenario. Okay, your interstate scenario, again your plant belongs to Hyderabad and customer belongs to maybe Mumbai, Karnataka, other than Hyderabad, other than Telangana. So that will be applicable. This is called IGST, integrated GST. Okay, integrated GST. So that means, so this fully collected by your central government, that will be applicable as IGST. So this is for different state. So now let's try to check export. In export scenario also IGST will be applicable, and territory tax, we have Lakshadweep, Andaman, like that, some kind of within our history of the states, you have union territories. If union territory relevant transaction happens, UGST will applicable. So now let's try to do one thing. Okay, I'll try to explain these two scenarios, and intra and inter. In real time, probably you can check what are all the scenarios you have. So once tax is determined, that need to be returned, that has a different ideology, like you have to register with you will get if you are like a lot of third-party tools will be there. Whatever the outbound and inbound, the tax value and the net value is supposed to show to the government, that we'll call it as a return. GSTR 1, 2, 3, like that. Some forms will be there. So that, if possible, we will discuss it. First, you try to understand this. Okay. Let's try to check these scenarios. Okay. So this is the brief. What we are going to see. Probably we'll do one thing. We'll catch up in next session. So if you look at here, currently I'm holding 3,978, almost 4,000 students. If you look at here, this is my sales and distribution course, and this video also will be included here. This is just, see, price is high. Generally in weekdays, you might get 400 and 500 rupees this course, and this is 95 hours content. You can utilize my referral link. Okay, or else you can directly go and join this course, so that it will be helpful to you. So I'm telling you, field by field explanation and different scenarios. SAP has got SAP SD has got such a depth actually. So certain case, certain case, if your screens are missing, I have repeated this course. The places, the things where, so it's a complete full-fledged course, and whatever the YouTube I have, those scenarios also available in this course. Better subscribe this course. It will be like a backup for you. Like, instead of if you are already trained going through bookish material, you can try to check the knowledge over the phone with exclusive video content for sales and distribution learning if you are professional also. And this is, if you are not introduced, you better try this course, SAP S4 HANA Simple Logistics. Here I have explained 3 scenarios. Okay, don't worry about ratings, if it is more or less. So it depends on the student, how he has take it. Okay, most of the times my ratings will be 4+ will be there. And if you are really interested in getting into the real time, if you are so serious about job trials, you better do this course, getting master to write functional specification. It is very important course. And in real time, support enhancement projects and your regular implementation projects is supposed to write documentation is very important. It is common for SD, FI, everyone. I have given SD examples. Even though you can try the same thing, you can download the template and try to write on your own, do a practice. This is the same thing happened for me. Like in my first project, I found difficulty to write this, because if you go back 12 years ago, nothing is available. Now YouTube is growing like anything, like Udemy, these kind of a lot of things available. If you really wanted to perform yourself, knowledge is available 360 degrees everywhere, 360 degrees camera. The SAP SD is now, you just try to grab knowledge as much as possible, try to remember, and try to be honest in terms of knowledge, so that you can able to perform anywhere. So like, if you see SD business processes, this is specifically I have designed for what are all the processes we have, from OTC, QTC, returns and everything, free of charge. So this is one package. If you go through it, so that your mind will have syncing at the time of attending interviews. See, all my courses I have designed and splitted entry point of view. If you really wanted to try, you can try. And if you look at here, SD ECC, this is one of my top rated course. Here I have explained all standard scenarios of pricing at advanced level, what you're supposed to learn for your interview. And I have given with clear PPT presentation. If you don't have basics, better go through this course. And pricing, this is also one of my top rated course. If you really have wanted to enhance your knowledge, it's better get into this course. And at the same time, if you want rebates, you can try. If I already trained, I'm good at my basic functions, business processes, I'm good, then you better go for this course, SAP SD ECC. And so if you come here, this is the course for idocs, you better try. Okay, idoc training for consultants. And for shipping also, basics, if you want, you can try an ECC. These are the courses available. If you really want it, you can subscribe it. Okay, now when it comes to the topic, So like let's try to catch up for practicals from next session onwards. So I'll try to create from enterprise structure to how GST will be determined, that I would like to show you, okay, step by step. Okay, thanks for joining the session. This is a overview session. From next session onwards, from part 2 onwards, the practicals, each and every setting will be done by me. So it will take some time. So be patient. Learning require patience, and go through all videos and learn at your interest. Jai Bharat.